Welcome to this segment of Rap's Ministry. What's the problem? And the problem is burnout. This is part 3 of our 4-part mini-series on burnout, restoration, and the healing process. I decided to do the last 2 parts of this mini-series on burnout on PowerPoint so that all of you will get the necessary important points and facts on the slides. Here are 7 points of healing, restoration. This is part 3 of our series on burnout. Point number 1, getting help. This is part of your concrete plans of the previous 2 videos that we were talking about. You need to be given advice, counseling, to help you to help you recover rather. It is a given. You must get help. You must accept this avenue of help, no matter how long it takes. For those of us who are digging up the pits of burnout now, you have watched the first part of this mini-series, but you may rebel and you may ask, why? Why should I go to someone for advice on my tiredness or the stress that I'm going through now? I can handle it alone by myself. I know what to do. Now, that kind of statement alone will drive you further into burnout, especially if you are indeed going through stress today, day and night, at work, at home. Stress just doesn't want to leave you. It becomes your company and it's taking other parts and aspects of your life away. So please don't let pride stop you from getting help. Be open at least to a coach, to a mentor, to someone who has gone through burnout and can journey with you. That is, if you are at the stage of digging pits and stress is becoming unmanageable. But if you are, on the other hand, already going through more than digging the pits, but going deeper into burnout, close to hitting rock bottom, or maybe you are already there, then it shows physically in you, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and you are struggling to get a control of your life, then you certainly must seek help. If not for yourself, then at least for your family's sake. So get treatment and follow through the sessions and things given to you to help you. Now, when I was going through burnout, my counselors were very, very nice to us, to me and my wife. Yeah, they brought so much peace and healing in that 1 month or so of staying at the resort. They were like parents to us. Parents that we didn't have, parents that we didn't experience the love, the positive mentorship and how to say lifestyle. They gave us that, and it, in a sense, it brought healing and even restoration. Not only just in my burnout, but even in the deeper areas of our hearts and our emotions. So staying in that 1 month or so at this resort was healing. That place was also very therapeutic. We had to deal with issues in our past, unhealthy mindsets and perspectives. This was just a start to restoration, and it became part and the process of our lives now. And it's still going on. This work of restoration is still going on in our lives. Number 2, change of mindset. The renewal of your mind. This is very important. Change can only take place with a new mindset. Discard the old mindset, the workaholic mindset. Remember the 7 pits, that 7 pits kind of mindset. Discard them. You need to. When I was growing up as a Christian, when I first grew up as a Christian, in the church, I saw that work, ministry, church, outreach was very important. In fact, my priority of life was in this order. God first, work, then ministry, then church, outreach, and then family. And myself, I didn't even include myself in this equation. We saw how the leaders work. They themselves were very work-oriented, perfectionists, pushy. They had their own agendas. And since we were young and naive Christians, having never been discipled and shown what a balanced life is, the only thing we knew how to do is work, work, work. Like as though God is a hard taskmaster. This mindset was what drove me. A wrong mindset and a destructive one. Those first few years of therapy and healing that we went for counseling for eventually set us free from this destructive mindset. And that's the word I choose to describe this mindset that I had some 15 years ago as a Christian, as a missionary. In healing recovery, you need to identify destructive lifestyles and systems so that you can identify it as destructive. And it can destroy your life again if you live a life like the past. You call out such destructive patterns, systems, and lifestyles, which I have done. So now, this is the order of my priorities. After going through the counseling and during the next few years of restoration and healing, this is now the order of priorities in my life. God first, then family. If you can't take care of your own family, how can you take care of a church? So God, family, myself, ministry, which includes church and outreach. And I have to say that this is the better life that I'm living and thriving in now than in the past. My mind is now very clear on what potentially can be destructive lifestyles, patterns and structures, and what are life-giving. Actually, I got so much more to share on this. Just that if I just go on and on, I may have to force myself to stop. If not, I will just carry on. So maybe another time. After my burnout, I worked in the social work industry for 20 years, which was very good. So good. Earned more than a decent pay. Could even at one time decide on the salary that I wanted. Social work industry is a high stress environment. I'm sure most of us know that. But as I know the destructiveness of burnout, having gone through it before, I intentionally put up immovable boundaries that safeguarded my life, my family, and our whole wholesomeness and quality of life. Thus, I not only survived 20 years of social work, but thrived in it without burning out, having learned the lessons of burnout previously and having a new mindset. So you see how important it is to renew and to have a change of mindset. You cannot continue living and working with the same mindset that you had when you were going through burnout. It got to change. Thirdly, build up your health and emotional well-being. Eat well, exercise, take walks, have fun, play, rest well, sleep 7 to 8 hours. You know, during that time when we went on this ministry with this couple in another land for a month or so, you know, they began to play with us. They are older than us. We were probably coming to our late 20s, and they were probably in their 40s or 50s, and they taught us how to play, how to have fun. And it was strange because we were playing things like, you know, how to say, catching and running after things, you know, and playing, what's the word you call it? I can't remember. You know, you take that discus kind of thing and then you throw it and then you run after it. Yeah, I can't recall. Yeah, but anyway, we played those kind of games, and we also had lots of rest. I remember resting a lot. I remember watching TV. I remember having a good time watching TV with my family, my wife, and my my eldest daughter at that time, who was about 5 or 6 years old. It was good time living in the cabin and having such family bonded time without anything dealing with ministry. Yeah. And it was a good time of rest and recuperation. So when we came back, we continued to keep up with our health and our emotional well-being, which is very important. You have also, number 4, you also have to detach yourself from work. On that, are you able to? Are you fearful of being put on the shelf? But have an honest talk with your bosses. This is for your own self-care and well-being. Because no one will take care of your health if you don't take care of yours. If you're still at the same place of work, set up boundaries in your working environment. Have your meals, have your breaks, engage in building wholesome relationship with your colleagues. Go out lunch with them, go out dinner with them, go out outings with them. Yes, don't be part of any politics in the office. Make your stand there. Don't be involved in all these. And then you leave for home on time. Don't bring work home. Yeah. So detach yourself from work. Fifthly, be involved in lives, in the family at home. Of course, potentially, a home can be another place of breakdown, stress at home. So it's good to also rope in the whole family in some counseling sessions. Burnout, as I mentioned very early on in this series, affects the family too. Be more involved in parenting your children, and then learn to support your spouse in her or his career and home life. Sixthly, socialize, have friends, build a community, seek peace of mind and heart. Build up a community that will add value, morals, life to you and your family. It can be church, it can be community. Renew family ties, renew relationships. Do community projects, be involved in community work. Give back to community, society. And in this way, you are also teaching your children at a very young age to give back to society. Seventh, maybe take time to reflect regularly. Maybe every quarter, take a weekend out just for yourself. You can go for wellness or even a spiritual weekend retreat, or just take some time to be with yourself and reflect on your life, your goals in life, your family, your future, and how well or not so well you are managing your life. Talk to someone who can give you real, honest, and brutal feedback on your well-being and yourself as a person. What you can do better and what you can do less. Maintain your mindset, discipline, boundaries, and etc. In the last video, we'll be going through some of this as our lives are put on a reset. So here are some help links that you can seek advice, consultation from, or even counseling. Now, counseling is not a bad word. It is a healing word that we all need. And you can learn a lot about yourself through counseling, then taking up a self-help courses, or even reading up on such books. Counseling is very healing and wholesome, not just for you, but for your family as well. So consider talking to someone in one of these centers for advice or just some feedback, Yeah. But if you are really struggling in managing your stressful situations and you know you're going through burnout and you need help, call and ask for help. Make an appointment to go down to one of these centers. So we come to the end of part 3 of the series on burnout. Tomorrow, we'll be uploading the last part of this mini 4-part series on burnout. I hope it has brought you more than just awareness, but the realization to do something about managing yourself, your work or your ministry, and your life wholesomely. You can drop me a line through email. I'm Ed here, by the way, Edward here. Or you can drop your comments or two in the comment section below this video. Would love to hear your comments and what you have to say if this video so far have been helping you. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel too. Thank you and have a restful weekend.